Hello everyone, my name is Pankaj, and today I want to talk about one very important topic which I'm very passionate about, and I kind of read about it. I like to learn about it. So I thought I would like to also share with everyone here. So I wanted to talk about spirituality. This is a very important topic, and it has got much relevance in the modern times. I see that the a lot of people are being drawn to spirituality now. A lot of people are kind of trying to understand what is spirituality. A lot of people are kind of uh, and trying to make sense of that, and how they can kind of benefit from spirituality. So I'll try to categorize and talking about the spirituality into the three things to make it very clear for everyone. So first of all, I talk about uh, what is spirituality. We'll talk about all the things that the standard definitions is all around that, but we'll try to make sense of that and understand in a very simple terms what is the meaning of that, and what do we call the spirituality actually. So this is what. Then I'll talk about how. Maybe before how, I'll talk about why spirituality is important. Why do we need spirituality? So that is also very important to understand. And then I'll talk about how we can practice spirituality, and what things to be done so that we can become more spiritual. We can learn about spirituality more in context. So I'll try to categorize into that three things. So well, let's start with the very first one. What do we mean by spirituality, and what do we understand about that? So uh, the standard definition of spirituality, it is said that the connection between you and something larger than yourself is called spirituality. So this is a very standard definition, right? If you read or maybe if you search about spirituality anywhere all over the internet, you will find that this is a standard definition given all around. The connection between you and something larger than yourself. So well, this is a very vague term. What is larger than yourself? And it could be nature, it could be God, it could be some cause that you would like to connect to. So that could be something larger than yourself. But I would like to also talk about my definition, or maybe what I understand about spirituality, not going by the standard definition that we read on the internet. So spirituality is uh, it, it is derived from the word spirit, right? So spirit means soul, right? uh, so the soul, or connection with yourself. So spirituality is also about knowing and connecting with yourself, with with your thought process, with your emotions, with your you try to understand yourself better. So that is also spirituality, right? So there are two parts of spirituality. The very first one, it is introspection, right? So you kind of go inwards, you try to understand yourself. You try to become self-aware. You become aware of your thought process, your emotional patterns, your habits, your mindset. So a lot of things you kind of learn about yourself. So you kind of you self realize yourself, right? So that is the one part, introspection. The second part is called transcendence, right? So transcendence is nothing but you're connecting yourself uh, with something beyond, beyond yourself. So as I said earlier, that could be nature, that could be some cause that you believe that brings some sort of serenity and peace to yourself. It could be being part of a community. It could be a connection to some higher power that you believe in. So all these things comes under part of transcendence, right? So as we understand, the very first thing is introspection, so connecting with yourself, knowing about yourself, self realization. And the second part is the transcendence, right? So you go beyond yourself, right, and you kind of try to connect with a lot of things beyond yourself, right? So this is a very this is my understanding of spirituality. I may be wrong, but this is what I have understood, the what is the meaning of spirituality, right? So connecting with your own self, your own spirit, your own soul, and understanding and learning about yourself, that what brings you peace, what gives you happiness, and knowing a lot of nuances about your individuality, your quirks. So a lot of things you kind of get to know about yourself. So that is a spirituality, right? Now, we understand what do we mean by spirituality. So now we'll talk about why spirituality is needed, right? And this is a very valid question, right? Anybody can ask. Let's see. So we are living in a modern time, and um, anybody can wonder that, hey, I've got the money to live in this materialistic world. I have got the beautiful relationships to live with my family and friends. I have got good health, so that I can live a very healthy life. So if I have all these things, I have money, I have health, I have relationship, why do I need spirituality? What is the use of that? So this is a very valid question, right? Anybody can wonder that. So so there there are a lot of significance and a lot of relevance to spirituality, and I would like to come to that. So when we say why it is needed, so the very first thing I would say, it is needed because it can give you the inner peace, right? So again, this is very cliche, right? We are living in a modern time, we have all the materialistic things with us, a lot of external things which is supposedly that can give us a lot of happiness, right? So a lot of things you see all around, right? So um, a lot of comfort you have, a lot of external things that can bring you maybe pleasure, but that is not always going to give you the inner peace, right? So inner peace is the very first and foremost reason that people are drawn to spirituality, right? It brings a sense of calm, sense of composure, a sense of contentment, and that is why people kind of like to pursue spirituality. That is the very first one. Second, it is needed because it provides you some sort of connections, right? So it could be connections to community, it could be connections to some higher power, it could be connections to some cause that you would like to serve, and that you believe that will bring some sort of meaning to your life. So that is the connection. The third one, and the very one of the very important one, spirituality is needed because it provides you meaning and purpose in life. So right. So again, this is this is very cliche, right? What is the meaning and purpose, right? See, the human mind or the human psychology try to figure out the meaning of everything that we do, right? You must have come across situations where you feel like, hey, I'm doing something, but what is the meaning of that? Why I'm doing that? What is the point of that, right? Or maybe the life that we are living, the job that we are doing, or all the roles that we are playing, maybe um, as a friends, as a son, as a father, or whatever roles that we are playing in this world. What is the purpose of that? Or maybe what is my purpose? Why I'm doing what I'm doing? You can also, so these sort of questions are very natural, right? It occurs in our mind, and we try to figure out that, right? Some people can say that, hey, these are metaphysical questions and not required, but you have to also understand that you have to figure out what gives you a true sense of contentment, right? True sense of a feeling of uh, making sense, right? If you're doing something, but if it does not make sense, you would not like to pursue that, you would not like to continue doing that, right? So the spirituality gives you meaning and purpose, right? You try to figure out that, hey, what is the purpose, or what is the meaning that I'm doing? You try to make sense of that. So that is the another one. um, Spirituality can also provide you guidance and values. So the values like kindness, compassion, or when we try to kind of change this world for better, we try to provide some value, we try to create some impact. So these sort of moral compass can be given by the spirituality. So this is another use case of spirituality, you can say, right? And last but not least, the spirituality. And again, I'm not saying that this is last. There are many things, and many people realize differently, right? But one of the other benefits of spirituality is that it can also provide you healing and growth, right? So a lot of people have a lot of issues going on, right? So I think in my earlier video I talk about people have this emotional pain, people have emotional wounds, people have childhood traumas, people have relationship issues, right? So a lot of issues are going around, and we carry those things, right? So the spirituality can provide you healing and growth. You connect with yourself, you understand what is going on in your mind, you try to make sense of that, and it gives you a sense of control, that okay, something is needed to kind of make a change here so that I can live my life for better, right? So 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 now, so at least we understand now that why it is needed, right? Any young person can ask this question, that why do I need this spirituality, right? What do I do with that? So these things are very important, uh, to giving a sense of purpose, sense of meaning, and bringing a contentment, healing, a lot of growth, inner peace. So these are the things that can give you, spirituality can give you that. Now, coming to the how part. So now we understand what is spirituality, the connection between yourself, connection between yourself and something larger than yourself. You understand why it is needed. Now, how how it is done, how it is practiced, how can we become more spiritual, right? And again, before I go to that, it's very important to understand there is a difference between spirituality and religion, being spiritual and being religious, right? So these are two different things, right? And there's a difference in that. So if I talk about the differences of spirituality and religion, um, religion can have a framework, it can have a structure, it can have a set of rules, protocols that we need to follow in order to be called religious, right? Certain framework is there that we need to follow. In spirituality, it is on the spectrum, it is on the very broad sense. So there's no structure to it, there's no framework to it, there is no standard definition for spirituality. As long as if you're doing certain activity which is bringing you calm, composure, peace, serenity, peace of mind, then you're kind of indulging into a spiritual activity, right? So there's a difference between spirituality and the religion, and these are two different things. So not all spiritual people are religious, not all religious people are spiritual, but some people are, some spiritual people can be religious, some spiritual people um, uh, some spiritual people can be religious, and some religious people can be spiritual also. But not all spiritual people can be religious, and at the same time not all religious people can be spiritual. So we need to understand the differences also. And again, the idea of this discussion is not uh, to kind of discuss which one is better and which is not. The idea is not, the idea is that we understand the difference between two, and both has got their own significance, both has got their own importance, right? So we are talking about the spirituality and how things can be done, right? So now I'm coming to the how part. So how spirituality can be practiced, and how we can become more spiritual. So as I said earlier, the things that is bringing you closer to yourself, the things that is bringing you more composure, peace, serenity, the things which is making you more aware of yourself, the things making you more conscious, all these activities can be called spiritual activity. And again, this is my definition, this is my understanding, I may be wrong, but this is what I understand from the spirituality, how it can be done. So how it can be done, so the things like meditation and mindfulness, of course. So as we know that when you do meditation, you you kind of bring all your thoughts to a certain anchor, right? So the anchor could be your breathing, the anchor could be a mantra, the anchor could be um, uh, any imagery or anything that you focus your mind to. And so this is called so through meditation you try to increase your concentration, you try to increase your focus, right? So this is meditation is one. Then second comes the mindfulness. So mindfulness is all about increasing the awareness. The mindfulness is all about being and living in the present moment, being aware of what is going on in your mind, being aware of your thought process, being aware of your emotional patterns, being aware of what is happening in my body right now, what is happening, kind of scanning through my body and understand, trying to understand what is happening, what is going through in my mind, what is going through in my body, what is happening around, if I see around what things are happening. So mindfulness is all about that. So again, there's a difference between meditation and mindfulness. The meditation is about increasing the concentration, increasing the focus, while mindfulness is all about being more aware. It brings more awareness to increase your consciousness. So this meditation and mindfulness is one of the ways you can indulge into a spiritual activity, and that will increase your mental focus, your mental awareness. You will start learning and knowing about yourself. So that is the one. Second, how spirituality can be achieved or can be practiced. The second one, journaling, right? Journaling or writing. So this is very basic, right? And why this is important? we we know that the human mind is a monkey mind, right? A lot of chatter, a lot of things going on, a lot of things unnecessary. We do not have a control, a lot of things is going on. Somebody has said to us, somebody, either we are living in past, we are living in present, we are living in future. So the thoughts keep jumping, right, from here to there. Your mind keeps jumping. So when you start journaling, when you start writing your thoughts, it brings you more clarity, it brings you more awareness, it makes you more self-aware. You learn about your thought patterns, you learn about your emotional patterns, you learn about why I act the way I act, why I say things the way I see. It kinds of brings you a lot of, brings you a sense of uh, clarity, a sense of um, you know I would say it makes you more aware. So you start writing, you start reading that, hey, what I was feeling, what I was writing, and you go and kind of read what you have written earlier. So journaling is one of the ways to it's like a mind dump, it's like a brain dump, right? Whatever you're thinking, you dump on the piece of paper, right? Whatever you're thinking, you dump it, right? So the brain dump, and then you go and read it, you kind of start recognizing your patterns, a lot of patterns, right? Your patterns of thoughts, emotions, your feelings, your behavior, the things that is going on in your mind, things that you would like to improve, your habits, a lot of things, right? So journaling is one of the ways you can practice spirituality. So now I think let me process that. What else is? Um, I think mindfulness, meditation, and then we have journaling, and then yeah. So the third one is introspection, right? Introspection and reflection. So when you sit down by yourself, you kind of introspect on certain things, you connect with yourself, you think through certain events that has happened in life, you think through certain things that is going on in your mind, you try to make sense of that. That is called introspection, right? That is called reflection. So you do not react immediately if something is going on in your mind. You try to process that. If something is going on, if something is running in my mind, I will try to make sense of that. I will try to understand what is going on. Does it make sense? You can apply the critical thinking there of the things that is going on. Does it really make sense? Is it coming from my past perceptions, my past experiences, or do we have some valid thoughts or valid points around the things that is going on in my mind, the things that I'm feeling. So you try to make sense of something that is going on by introspection and reflection, right? You try to process that before you come to a decision, before you say something, before so it makes you aware of your patterns, and you're not making decisions that is emotionally driven, right? So it brings you more clarity, right? So the introspection and reflections, that is one. um yeah, I think uh, these are I think these are the ways we can achieve the spirituality. So now, at least to wrap it up, we understand what is spirituality, the connection with yourself, and also something beyond yourself. So that is the spirituality. Now we also understand why spirituality is needed in the modern time when we have everything. Why do we need it? So we understand that. We also learned about what is the difference between spirituality and religion, and these are different things. And also we understood about how spirituality can be practiced, what things we do that we can become more spiritual, right? So yeah, so that was all about that, and I hope this helps you understand more about spirituality. Yeah, thanks.